Well, this is the Project Boxing podcast, episode number 6. We are inside the Fox ABC gym. It's also a place of work for professional fighters, trained by Anthony $1 Million Crolla. But we are very graced today. A man we know well, Project Boxing man, Mr. Dan Morley, who famous in and out of the ring.
Both sides of it.
F for famous, isn't it?
F for famous. Yeah. Well, we'll come to that in a minute. He's
one of the very best. One of the very best boxing accounts on social media. Dan Morley Boxing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we'll get to Dan in a minute. But the weekend was, I think you'd say, had its highs and lows, Anthony, for various different reasons. But we'll get to the boxing in a minute. There was a good show, obviously, in Carson, California. But you've had a couple of days to recover, and as every Manchester United fan has, but you got to start with that, really. I mean, it was a shocker.
Do you know what? I'm not going to start going, it was a top red estate to the end. Once that third goal went in, that's me. I just walked off. But Paul Smith was messaging before. I had no confidence whatsoever, and he said, I'll try and catch up after it. And I just texted him. It's like an hour and just I've got off.
I would imagine Paul's a gracious winner and loser.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah.
Do you know, once we won at Old Trafford, he was giving us at Anfield.
This is the Paul Smith of the famous Smith fighting family.
He was giving us a lift back, and obviously they kept the United fans in, and unsurprisingly, he didn't wait for us, so we had to walk back from Anfield to his granddad's. He let us park the car there. So, it's a bad day. But anyway, enough about football. It's bad. But the boxing is showing. Do you know what? Where was the show? You see, it was Carson. It wasn't in the stubble, was it?
It was the outdoor at Carson.
Was it?
Yeah.
Right. I didn't know what the venue was yet. It's
the one where it's that very venue.
Stub Hub or something?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, we got that wrong.
We might have been changed names, but that's the one where Scott Quigg boxed. Remember when he boxed Oscar
Valdez?
I was there.
Working it.
And that beautiful outdoor venue in California, and it's the outdoor arena. And if you remember, that's where Scott Quigg boxed Oscar Valdez a good few years ago now. And again, California, Southern California, and it was torrential rain.
Is it Sunshine State? Isn't it Sunshine State, California, isn't it?
Or is that Florida?
Don't know.
Why do you think you do this now?
It doesn't really matter, does it? But we'll come to it. But it's not really important.
Anyway, but there was a good card there.
Yes.
And there was a Brit on there in the shape of Chev Clarke who had his hands full, it's fair to say, against this Nigerian who, of course, Eddie was bigging up before. Eddie Hearn was saying, this won't be easy. He said he beat Jay Opataya in the Commonwealth Games.
He was the last man. Am I right in saying he was the last man to beat Opataya?
That was in the amateurs anyway. Obviously, he's not been beaten as a pro. But Apache had a couple of defeats on his record, but, relatively unknown, let's face it. Went in there. Eddie was bigging him up, but, I mean, obviously Eddie's a promoter who's going to do that anyway, but he was a right handful. Chev, I think, thought he was going to get him out there in the 8th round, and then had a torrid end of 9th. Had it been more time in that round, it could have been a very different story.
Do you know what I think I said last week, Chev's been matched. He's been matched aggressively, and you know what? He's ticked every box. And listen, he come through. I think they had it split. Chev definitely done enough to
he did.
And more. I didn't get that, but he's been matched sort of aggressively, hasn't he? Chev, but he's good enough. He's been ticking the boxes. And that was another big learning fight on Saturday night. But I rate Clarke highly because I'm pretty sure he went to the Olympics. He wasn't massively experienced when he went to the Olympics as well. He went to Rio, didn't he? I think I'm right.
I think he's been matched well as well because he's 33.
Was it Rio or Tokyo?
No, he went to Rio.
Was it? No,
it's got to be Tokyo.
It's got to be. Yeah. But no, Clarke. No, I rate him highly. And he come through once, like you say, a few rocky moments, come over a bit of adversity. But I would say the kind of fight rounds that put hairs on the chest.
Yeah. And the weekend was also dominated. I don't know what your respective households were like, but with children mithering about Oasis tickets.
Oasis. I thought you was going to go on about something else, so that's good. But I thought that Ticketmaster ran the ticketing schedule really well. And I thought like the queues went well. I got on and I got tickets for all 4 venues at face value. So
you did
these
really
kind
well,
of ticketing sites, they get a lot of stick, but I just want to say, like, fair play to them. They ran this really well and they went to proper fans, and I've not saw many on like resale sites for inflated prices.
Should we start again, Anne? Because you're talking nonsense.
You
never went near that.
But I am going to have to go Eaton Park.
It's going to be. I just cannot get over actually the way that's been done, and that the national meltdown for those tickets. It's quite incredible, really, isn't it?
Yeah, some Oasis fans have said the actual words, they brought the country back together. That is the exact words what I've heard of from people.
But would they make your top 3 of Manchester bands?
Yeah, they would.
Would they?
They would. Yeah, they would.
So where would your top 3 be there, go on?
Jesus, just off my head. They're not Oasis that have to go in, absolutely, because I was a kid growing up.
Yeah.
But obviously, the Stone Roses have got to go in, haven't they?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tell you, that was Manchester.
Well, 2 of the lads are from Manchester, one's from Oldham.
I know, yeah, but we've had that.
And then where's Gary Barlow's from Cheshire, and then what's his face? Robbie from Stoke, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a few. No.
Well, I know they were marketed that way, but I mean, if you're talking about Manchester bands and you're talking take that in the top 3, then I think we may as well just stop this right now.
I know, but you're not bands, that's what I mean. Who'd yours be, Dom?
Well, I mean, you were probably you were just alive when the Smiths broke up.
The Smiths, the Smiths.
Now they're obviously they have to be, they're definitely there. Happy Mondays have got to be up there.
The Mondays,
the Stone Roses, absolutely.
Said that. Yeah, no, they're absolutely up there.
How about you, Dan? Your Manchester top 3?
Everything you just said,
yeah,
definitely, yeah. I do like my music, but the only one I can the only 2 I thought were Oasis and Stone Roses.
Cleopatra, do you remember
Stone Roses?
Cleopatra?
Yeah, and the only 2 I thought about because Waterfall. So
tune.
Yeah.
Ringtone, not my ringtone, my mum's ringtone.
I mean, Oasis does some good anthems and all that, but I don't think Stone Roses are a class apart, and so are the Smiths.
You think?
Absolutely.
I think south,
to be honest, Noel and Liam would probably agree with that. That's the truth of the matter.
I think down south, Oasis are like big Manchester band, I would say.
Yeah, oh well. Right. But we have Dan Morley with us. He's been doing some work now. Obviously, Dan, you're out on the 28th of September at York Hall.
One second, just go back. I did not mention the crippling body shot of Pacheco.
Oh, you're quite right, actually, because all we did was we spoke about the venue without actually talking about the fights.
Yeah, the main event. Do you know what? I don't know if he had. I was looking through it.
No, he hadn't been stopped before.
He'd not. He'd been in with Who's Who as well. And I've said, I thought, they'll go out there and be the first to do it.
Yeah, a lovely halfway at the midway point of the fight. Fantastic body shot. End off. But you mentioned him last week as well, because we watched him in Liverpool when he beat Jack Cullen.
Yeah, and he went about Jack, and Jack's an handful for anyone. I'm not saying Jack's world class, but he's an handful for anyone. British champion. He's had some fantastic results, the Euro Dream fight and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, he just looked class, didn't he? Yeah. He looked class that night, and you could see sort of just levels for him where you thought. I think I said last week. He just looked like that. He had that apparent about him, that sort of aura about him. Like, no, I'll be a world champion. It's not if, it's when. Oh, he's good. The other one who might say that, he was on the same bill, Sugar Nunes. Yeah. Obviously, he is Ansel Kakachi's mandatory, but obviously Ansel is fighting Josh Warrington. So I'm guessing the IBF has stripped the mandatories. I'm almost certain that the winner will have to fight Nunes and right, and it looks like he carries some power. It looks like he carries some power for sure.
Did Loma stop Mariaga? Has he been stopped before? I think he.
You know this? Yeah. I'm sure Loma did. You know what? I double check there. I should know that.
Because I wasn't sure when I saw it. I thought he's never been stopped, but I think Loma. I think that was in his no mass phase. I think
it was. Oh no, but Nunes looked well. He's got nice rhythm to him. Heavy hands. The winner of Kakachi's Josh Warrington, like I say, it's a tough night's work. There's no denying that, but it's a good fight.
Well, if you think of the weekend, then you think of finishing, and we are on our 1, 2, 3, 4, 6th episode, which is the letter F. Yeah. So finishes either way. So we've seen some good stoppages, but I think we'll get to this fella as well, who had a fantastic stoppage in his comeback fight, if you like. A little bit of time out of the ring, Dan, but he came back. Against Conor Meanwell. And we're just warming into the seats, looking forward to a good few rounds, and that was that.
Yeah, no, it was a good shot.
Yeah. I mean, set up nice.
That's always been my best shot, but when I let it go, it was set up nicely, but I didn't think it was going to do much damage. It's one of them, I'd hit him earlier with that, and he blocked it. So I was like, you know what, I sort of, Golovkin chopped it a bit more, the initial hook, rather than the first one.
Yeah.
And it sort of threw him off, because it went there, and he lifted his elbow.
And the elbow come up.
Yeah, and I sort of let it go without thinking about it, and I was just like, wow, that's all done.
Sweet.
Yeah, but you've been in the gym today, and again, jumping in with 2 very good lads, Jay Cohen and
Yeah,
Bob
before that, some undefeated prospects.
Yeah. But they were like, you've done 6 hard rounds today, and you've travelled up
fresh out the car.
Yeah, I was going to say you've travelled up from Epsom, jumped out of the car, got in the ring, done all that, and again it was good. You're a little bit self-critical. I understand that. That's part of the gig, isn't it? But good to get those rounds in. Good
no, you know what?
With 2 different characters in there today as well.
Yeah, the first fella,
Jason,
he was. It's good rounds. I mean, like you say, different style. Like
he's a little unorthodox Jason as well. He'll come with that third shot. I was saying it to me before. Like he comes with that shot at the end that you're not really expecting as well.
Yeah. I was sort of practicing my rolling and stuff, and then he would add a shot on. I'd be like, man. But no, like a different kind of style. I felt I sharpened up a bit when Bob was in. But I was a bit critical, but. It's been the first hard spar I've done for a couple of weeks, so to get in and do the 6, I felt fit.
6 good rounds.
Stuff's working, little shoulder movements and stuff, so it's all good. It's all good.
Good stead for the 28th of September.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. We'll see about finishing in that one as well, but you're a bit of a student of the game, as we know, hence you've built your fan base, if you like, which is another letter F. But in terms of the finishing, who jumps out at you than recent times, or who do you look at and say, they're the finishes that I like?
What finish stands out in my mind?
Well, it's up to you. However you want to work this letter F for finishing.
Me, Mick, my coach, is
Mick Guilfoyle, who's over there in the background.
We were talking about it either yesterday or today. The one that stands out to me is when Big George Foreman walked out the corner against Jerry Cooney. I walk in the park and just went donk with that uppercut and melted him.
What a beauty.
Yeah, that one as well. And Jersey Joe Walcott did the same against Hazard Charles. The best left uppercut I've ever seen.
True.
But yeah, that Big George one, because it's just smooth and just the size of him, and he's in his 40s. And you're just like,
it was brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what? I'll have 2. And not on that kind of sort of level where it was the world title fight, classic moments in boxing. But any British boxing fans who are listening, the knockout that sticks out to me, and it's at York Hall, Bethnal Green, where Dan will be in action as well.
I think I know what you're going to say.
You probably know what I'm going to say because I spoke about it, and it's my pet hate. Makes in the back there laughing. It's my pet hate sort of in boxing. I'll be on to all the amateurs when someone will left up, lead up with a non-punching hand low. Yeah. The leader, and what happens in that effect there? So they fought, and if they get beat to the shot, it causes that effect, doesn't it? And the knockout I'm talking about is Wayne Alexander knocking out Takaloo.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there was a bit of possible. It looked like it hurt him to the body, and then I don't know whether Alexander lured him in. Oh, it's a brutal knockout. Takaloo was a very good fighter, and he sort of went in to sort of finish the job. Do you remember it? It nearly beheaded him. Honestly, it was absolute. Wayne Alexander was a world-class puncher.
Yeah, he could punch.
He really was.
And he timed him.
Honestly, it stuck with me. That knockout has stuck with me for how many years ago must that be? Must be 20.
Yeah, over 20 years.
Yeah. Thereabouts. And,
that was early as well.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was early, and I think you remember Takaloo. He hit him to the body or something. He put him off. Sort of him down, and he shot up. That was it. He shot up with a left hook, didn't he?
Yeah. He was low, and he just went bang.
Hooked
with a hooker.
Oh, that was the one. That one, but the other one as well. One of the most brutal finishes. Ray Mercer against Tommy Morrison. Oh,
that was
it was almost sickening, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Yeah. Tommy Morrison, R.I.P. It was absolutely brutal, wasn't it? On the ropes, then it was just about 6 unanswered shots, weren't they? It was,
Yeah, that's the ref needed to jump in.
It was a little bit, the referee should have been looked at, for sure.
When they get that in slow motion, when they get that in slow motion, mate, he's out from like the third punch. It's like ping ball in his head.
Very good fighter, Tommy Morrison, though, wasn't he?
Tommy Morrison was. So was Ray Mercer. He was an Olympic. What was he? Olympic?
I don't know.
What medal did he bring?
He boxed a lot of great.
Was it gold or? So Ray Mercer. No, he was. Give Lennox one of his toughest fights.
He boxed Larry Holmes as well.
Larry Holmes. Tommy Morrison also was.
Who was his famous relative, Tommy Morrison?
Come on, Tommy the Duke. What was it called? John Wayne. Wayne.
They reckon he had over like 100 amateur knockouts.
Tommy Morrison. Tommy Morrison could really fight. He was just a superstar. He was doing the Rocky films. He was doing a lot.
Yeah.
And he just signed to fight Tyson or something. He was a multi-millionaire. He'd signed some big deal or whatever. And where he's from is Arkansas. There's a big, massive billboard, welcome to wherever it was, or his place in Arkansas, or wherever he was from.
Gravette.
The home of Tommy the Duke Morrison. You know, as you enter the town, you know what was mad? From the press conference, him driving across the state, wherever, or flew in, whatever, drove back in, they took the sign down. It was that brutal. Yeah, I remember reading it. I thought it was his book or something like that, yeah.
You know, when you're talking about finishes, yeah? This wasn't a finish, but it's like a different topic where it's like punches that should have been a finish. Do you remember Tommy Morrison's left hook against Razor Ruddock? Spun him like 180.
Jeez.
Do you remember it?
Do you know
I'll show you if you don't remember
we'll watch that. Do you know who I was thinking of Razor Ruddock as well? Was it Michael Bent, one who were behind
he smashed him.
Yeah.
The smash. Oh, see, I'll get it out. I will 100% have seen this when you see it. We'll get it up in a minute. What, the Michael Bent one or
no,
the Razor Ruddock?
the Razor Ruddock one.
Do you remember
it? No, Tommy Morrison was a great fighter, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Just his left
Big
hook was
George as well.
unbelievable.
Big George.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think now, best current finisher.
Well, what about your own favourite finish, anyway?
My own favourite finish?
Oh, the one that won the British title, wasn't it?
Yeah,
shot.
he is,
John Watson.
because if you could hear for it, Joe Gallagher called for it. So yeah, it's always a little bit sweeter, isn't it?
No, that was a good shot.
So that was a shot.
That's the one that came to my head. So I cut it off.
No, it was.
It kind of launched your career, that as well, didn't it?
No, it did.
Yeah.
It absolutely did. I was thinking now, best finisher in boxing at the minute. Who'd you go?
Beterbiev or Inoue. Probably Beterbiev because he just does everyone.
Yeah.
Whereas Inoue.
Do you know where I think a fight coming up where it might come into play this when you're about finishing? I think he's a very, very good finisher. I think Anthony Joshua was a fantastic finisher when he has an opponent hurt. And he might have to do that early on when he's landing. I expect him to buzz the Dubois because then if it gets past 4, things could get really interesting with Dubois and Joshua. But yeah, I think at the minute, it might be Inoue. Be Inoue.
As you mentioned it anyway, because he's one of your favourite finishers, that Beterbiev Bivol. Very quickly, how do you see that at this point?
Oh, mate, that's like, I really do think that's the best fight in boxing.
Really, up there, isn't it?
Well, it's just whether Beterbiev's body falls apart. Do you know what I mean? That's the only thing where you always think it's gonna, and then he just comes out and smashes someone.
Yeah.
I've always thought Bivol as I think he's stronger. Yeah, the style, but I think he's strong with that style. I don't think people give him credit for the pop he's got in his shots because he don't stop people.
He was very comfortable with Canelo in there as well.
Exactly,
Canelo's much stronger,
but he's strong. Canelo.
No, yeah. He's. I always feel like we've done like people going out his feet. And I think his balance gives him a lot of that strength. When someone's well balanced, do you know what I mean? It helps a lot. You know, with that strength factor.
And Beterbiev does get dropped, and the yard game problems. I think Campillo dropped him. I think
Callum Johnson dropped him.
CJ dropped him proper.
And I think, I think Bivol will be able to stick on him. But then, if he gets clipped, like Bivol's been clipped as well by Joe Smith and Beterbiev whacks.
Do you know, that's my worry. Will he hit hard enough to keep Beterbiev off?
He will get to him eventually, won't he?
That's my worry.
And he doesn't have to hit hard, does he, to get you?
No, Callum said to me, he said, it weren't like, he said, obviously, he hit hard, he said, sure, but they kept coming and each one was like, boom, boom, boom. It weren't like each one was like that, but it was just coming, they just couldn't keep him off. But yeah, like you say, you think the age and everything, Bivol, does that suit Bivol? But you can't rule Beterbiev out, not after how he's been recently.
No. Anyway, a bit more about Dan. For people that don't know that much about you, if they're not familiar with your work and your boxing videos and now with boxing news and all the rest of the stuff that you do, you started writing off articles for Sky years ago, didn't you, and stuff? So
even Boxing Monthly before that.
Boxing Monthly,
before they went.
You were a keen amateur, but you always had an eye on things outside the ring, didn't you? Which I think is a good lesson for any young fighter coming through. Always kind of look for a plan B, a plan C, which you've been doing. So kind of just tell us briefly a run through your boxing career and what you've been doing out of the ring to get yourself to where you are now.
Yeah, so obviously I started boxing when I was 14. I was an amateur. I had about 26 amateur fights. Turned professional around 21, and then from there I was just fighting as a pro. I wasn't really doing much aside it. I was just working the odd jobs, builder, airport, postman,
You built an airport and a post office?
Yeah, I built the airport and and the post office. But I realised I didn't want to do all that stuff whilst I was boxing. And then I decided to, I went to college and got a PT certificate. So I was like, you know what, I'll teach people. And ever since then, really, it's just tried things. I mean, tried a little bit of writing, tried a bit of videoing. And now, obviously, COVID took a few years out, had a little break. In that break, I built up my social media. I do like 4 videos a day on fighters. Sometimes I delve right in and do voiceovers. Other times I just get a little clip and do a little bit of a breakdown of what the fighter's doing. And that's built the following up nicely. So I'm doing that. From that, I've been able to write for Boxing News, and I've got a little show on there.
Seen that with the Boxing News.
No, cheers, man. And I've been doing a little bit of work abroad as well, teaching. But all of that is, alongside boxing now. I had to take a bit of time to focus on it and build it. And it's changed the boxing game for me now, because before, when I first met you boys with the Isaacs fight, that was a brutal fight. And I got nothing from it, do you know what I mean? And I stuck with it, and it was going 1 step forward and then 2 steps back outside the ring. So I took the time out and I thought, you know what, just focus on this for a year or 2 whilst I got the time. Yeah. And now, I've got, obviously, you lot looking after me as well. Got a good team. I've got people that are wanting to sponsor me. I've got lots of people interested. And I'm enjoying it more. All those years out, I say months out because I wasn't out for that long. Yeah. Just watching boxing, I've absorbed so much that I can use it now.
What I like about that is the way that you very, very quickly brushed over the fact that you'd just been abroad a bit, as in...
I was just about to say, Dan, tell us some of these places abroad.
He's just been abroad a bit. He's just went training the rich and famous in the Maldives, getting paid to go and do that.
Someone's got to do it.
And then coming back and then doing the same in Switzerland a couple of times.
Just the 5 times.
What's that all about?
I went over to the Maldives when I was 21. Just casually drop that one in there. You know what, right? I was
training Hollywood stars.
Training Hollywood stars, I met the big man, Klitschko. Can't say which one, but one of them. Millie Bobby Brown, people like that. There's loads. There's loads of people out there. Yeah. So
just don't want to talk about it. It just reminds me of Robert De Niro, biggest name dropper I know.
Don't want to talk about it. Al Pacino. But you know what? I was 21, I had 5 fights, journeyman. Do you know what I mean? Just the hard way. I say the hard way, but the traditional way of building myself. And then this fella that is a good friend of my girlfriend's family just come up to me and he's like, look, I've got a proposition for you. I just boxed Kristaps Zuglis, whatever. Do you know what I mean? They're not really big fights. So I'm like, maybe he wants to sponsor me. And he just goes, so I used to sell villas on this island in the Maldives. It's voted the #1 island and they've never had a boxing coach. Would you want to go over there and teach people how to box? I was like, Think about that. I was straight over there, and it wasn't that busy. But I met Millie, trained her, and then training her, it got a bit of traction. Yeah. But they wanted me back, so I went back the next year, and it was mega busy. Yeah. And then I went back again, and then I met a Swiss family that wanted me to go to Switzerland. So people messaged me on the accounts, and they're like, how do I go about doing this? Yeah. I'm like, mate, I've got no clue. People just message me. I just got an opportunity. But I've done 5 trips. So I've been away for like 30 weeks in total doing that over, the 5 trips. So it's good, man.
Charmed life, eh?
Jealous.
I don't get carried away with it.
Well, you do balance it with the hard work as well that you've been doing today and stuff like that. So you do kind of get both sides of it.
I get stuck in,
you can't do that side of it if you're serious about this side of it. You know what I mean? You got to find it.
The thing is, I'm still at a stage in my boxing career where it doesn't earn me my living. So I go abroad and I can earn a little bit of money. And then here, luckily I've got some good sponsors now that are looking after me. You know what I mean? I can tick over here comfortably from what I do out there. Good connections, good experience, and good food.
So what's the plan then? You get another one before Christmas, ideally?
Yeah. Well, I'm boxing 28th September.
Yeah, I know. That's sorry, because we touched on that. And then but after, and again, without getting beyond yourself, but the idea you just need to, like everyone says, you want to be busy, don't you?
Yeah, mate, my career's been plagued with inactivity. Some of it is you got to take responsibility. But the first 18 months, I boxed 6 times. And that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit. I was 2 weeks out from my first title fight.
Yeah.
COVID hit, and then that's 2 years. They offered me the Isaacs fight, which I knew would be hard.
Yeah.
People weren't taking hard fights. I was like, take it.
Yeah.
Won that, and then broke my hand. They offered me Roberto Duran Jr. I was like, yeah, man. Yeah. And then it just didn't happen. Another 6 months out of the gym. I had a few contractual issues as well with promoters, and it just didn't. And I was just like, you know what? I'd been boxing 5 years. I'd had 7 fights. And I was just like, you know what? Take time out, build it, and then go back with full throttle, which is now obviously.
And obviously we had a little training camp in Portugal. So the best thing to do is go over there, do a little bit of work, and not break your finger on the very first day.
Very first round.
I just thought, it was his first spar back, wasn't it, in like a while?
Yeah.
It was good, and I thought, you found a kid who was going to the Olympic trials, wasn't it?
I hadn't sparred for, this is after my 2 years out.
Yeah.
And I was a bit nervous because I was like, right, I'm in Portugal, I'm with Crolla, I'm with Dom, I'm with the crew, do you know what I mean? Like, the first spar in 2 years. And Crolla comes up to me, he's like, oh, he's Olympic qualified, this guy. I was like, fucking hell.
Straight in at the deep end, but then I've gone. So this man, listen, he looked really well. He was around, didn't you?
Yeah.
He looked really well. And they went, I've caught my finger then, and then, did you run around? And then he got out, second round, and he come out. I went, finger, finger then. He said, be all right. And the next thing, he went, you just took my glove off for a second. And then his finger was like done in ET, full ET.
Scary movie. Yeah, mate, you know what? I done the first round against the Olympic, what was it, like Gabon or something he was from?
Was it?
Oh, something like that.
He was going one of the qualifiers.
He was from Angola.
Angola.
So I sparred him, and I was like, you know what? And he had like a sweatsuit on.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
mental,
like out there.
mental.
And I did well. Got out, and then they got another kid in, and I was boxing really well. Mate, I hit him with this left hook, and I've never felt pain like that in my hand.
Yeah.
I was like, ow.
To be fair, he played it down. He didn't make out like it was,
I was like, you know, because even in there, I hurt my hand. I hurt both of them, like just my thumbs. You do it all the time. I was like, whoa, that really hurt that. I got out anyway, because I done 2 back-to-back. And I was like, I done it in like the first minute of the round, so I was still throwing it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I said to Anne, I was like, you know what, let's do a few more. I did a few more, I was waiting. I was like, I think this is actually quite bad. Take my glove off, he pulls it, I'm like, ah! Come out, my finger was like that. And it was stuck like that for 3 months. It was a mess.
Yeah. It didn't stop you having a couple of beers, did it, anyway, Dan?
Nah, you know what? I was sparring like 2 months later.
Yeah.
Even training for that fight, my finger was still like that for the first 4 weeks. I hit someone in the head and it just went like that. Like, it just went back into place. Job. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Mad old game, innit?
Yeah, well, all going well in the training anyway at the minute, and all going well as a whole in here. It was a nice and busy one as normal.
Yeah, it was.
A few misses still. Some more coming in this afternoon.
Someone this afternoon. Got Rhiannon in. Obviously, she's finally third time lucky with the date. Yeah. Same night as Dan up the road. Yeah. At the Copper Box, Copper Bosch. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. It's another night he's fighting on the same as me.
Yeah. So with a bit of luck. Yeah, might get to both. Your call and the Copper Box isn't a million mile away, is it?
No, it's very close actually.
Yeah, just waiting on dates, and that's it. I've got 3 of them in this afternoon.
Yeah. Well, it gets the same point every week when we kind of try and find out, what's been holding your attention, because you're a mad scroller. You love all the social media, and you've always got things that you throw on the WhatsApp. Look at this, look at that. So go on, what's been taking your attention this week?
I don't know his name, and I'm late to him because he's got a million followers. There's an Irish guy, Summit Music he's called. Summit Music, he's got a big beard, and he's... Is
that a Garan fella?
That's him, I think.
I
think that's him.
Yeah.
No, he's hilarious, and I don't know how I've only just come across him.
Yeah.
Last week was an Irish person as well, wasn't it? Remember the influence, the calorie, the girl who... Do you know now? Yeah. Do you know what does my nutting? I don't know if it's because I watch these daft videos so it automatically comes on my feed. The amount of people who are just giving dietary advice out. Some of them shouldn't be either. I'm not being nasty.
He's one of his mates, although I think he's fairly legit. Another of your, Joe Wicks.
Oh no, Joe's legit.
That's what you said. That's what you said.
But some of it is mad like about...
Yeah, but I didn't realise what business he's become, by the way.
Mate, he's the
massive. Yeah, he's done well.
I mean, fair play to what he did in lockdown and all the rest of it.
Yeah. Mate, do you know South Bank?
Yeah, well, in London.
Yeah, in London, yeah.
Yeah.
He put something on his Instagram like, oh, I'm going to do 5K in South Bank. Yeah. Mate, it was rammed.
100% up, class.
But to be fair, he just does recipes. I don't think he's saying like, this is going to...
No, it's just nice.
This is going to make you lean in 15.
No, it's just mad, but it is mad the amount of people just giving dietary vibes. Some of it's just insane as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can still eat this, you can still eat that, and I'm like, oh God.
PTs and people selling pyramid schemes. You got to be careful on social media, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Says the expert.
Have you bought into any pyramid schemes?
Nah.
No, that's where you're wrong. You did once, because I did it with you. I think it was your idea. Do you remember that time, right? I mean, I've wasted a lot of money. And I've done a few stupid things. You know what I did once? Do you remember when NFTs, as they call? Do you remember it? Listen, we've got these NFTs, we've got these dinosaurs.
What?
And there was do you remember those apes that was going on? That was just he bought an image. Do you not remember it?
No.
Oh, you must remember it. Do you, Josh, cameraman's nodding. You remember it? It just blew up massively, didn't it? And we basically bought a picture of a dinosaur, didn't we, Dom?
I think it was just a dog.
No, it was a dinosaur. It was definitely a dinosaur. I've still got it in my phone, I'll find it. I'll check the value of it. And it was a few hundred quid each, right? And then when we got it, one of our dinosaurs was rare, so we could have sold it for them, then got our money back and made about £15 each. So I was thinking, this is a good investment, this on the opening day. Yeah, it just crashed. Yeah, do you not remember them, the NFTs?
That passed me by, that.
Was it called something like 8? There was somewhere big celebrities was buying these ones. They ended up, for a bit, I don't know who decided they was worth a few million, but it was just insane. It was probably the most stupid thing. No, I was showing NFTs was massive. There we go. Josh has just shown us behind the camera.
What is that?
That was the 8 ones, wasn't it? It was just madness.
You just buy that picture?
You bought the picture, yeah. I'm going to show you our dinosaur.
The best thing to do though is to really understand what you're getting involved in, as you can tell.
You're not selling it very well.
Yeah, but we bought it, and then when we got it, it was like, wow, what an investment. Just got it. We've already made £7.50 each in the first on the opening day.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, and it didn't work out. But anyway, yeah, that was it.
Dear me, right. Anyway, forthcoming business, Anthony. This weekend, there's you had a couple of lads in here today doing a little bit. Jack Rafferty.
And that's a good fight. Him and Henry Turner.
Yeah.
He's from the iBox gym. Yeah, Turner's good. That's a good fight between him and Jack Raff at the. It's not the Echo no more. The M&S Bank Arena on the Nick Ball undercard.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
October the 5th.
Who's Nick Ball boxing?
Obviously, Jack Steve Miller's he is boxing Ronnie Rios.
Yeah.
Yeah, good card.
Yeah, Will Goldie was in as well. There's a couple of good local shows coming up as well, isn't it, to the northwest. Steve Woods in action this weekend.
This show soon. He is.
In Blackpool.
He's Blackpool.
He's got Commonwealth Youth title fight. Jay
Cabral. I'm a fan of Jay Cabral.
Brad Ray's on the bill.
He's a very good coach. He's got a great little stable there. Brad Ray's back out. He's good. He's staying busy. The big lad is Lewis Wright.
Yes, he's on the card.
He'll be on one of the Berries.
Thomas Ferry.
Yeah. Who else did you say something before? Ferry's a good kid.
You said Lewis Wright, that's right. Yeah, Sean Arkwright.
Yes.
And Ryan McMillan. North Welsh lad, I think, is making a debut.
Good bill. Winter Gardens, I think, is a belt little venue as well.
One of the finest, isn't it? I mean, that's right up there in terms of
Blackpool
beautiful venues. That.
Yeah, but I reckon it's no disrespect. I reckon the Winter Gardens, it might be the nicest thing in Blackpool. I reckon it's right up there. Blackpool's mad. Yeah. I think Blackpool's fantastic. I prefer Lytham and St Anne's. Yeah. But Blackpool is wild.
Yeah, well.
We went to the darts recently. And we was walking up to Winter Gardens, we felt out of place that we didn't have a tinner. Do you know what I mean? It was mad.
I think my stepdad took my mum Blackpool recently. That's where he's from.
What a guy.
I don't think, yeah. What a treat.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, it's still extremely popular.
I like Blackpool.
I know loads, yeah. Loads of people love it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So that's about it, Anthony. I think, you know, Dan and Mick, they're heading back down to the Surrey Hills, where he can continue with his box hill runs over the course of the next few weeks.
Away from the Lime side of the state.
You got anything exciting going on?
Do you know what? No, I don't think I was recovering from the football and training.
It's international weekend as well, so you've got no worries about that this weekend. You just
weekends that
forget
we
the
were in
football
this
completely.
weekend.
But what we say about Jadon Sancho to Chelsea? What's going on there?
It's just another mad transfer, that, isn't it? That just you thought was absolutely going to work, and it did not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we sign him or did we loan him? Because he's just come to us.
He's gone, man. He's gone. Right, where's Sterling gone, by the way?
Arsenal. So we got rid of Sterling and got Sancho. We've just got Sancho. He plays for Chelsea now.
I genuinely didn't know. If he went to Dortmund, he was good, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just never going to work with him.
Where did he? Sorry, I'm just getting a bit of a detour. Where did he play for United when he played? On the wing?
Yeah, on the wing.
Oh, right. Because Palmer, he ain't going to get out with Palmer in the middle, is he?
Oh, Palmer's class. No, he's on the wing.
Oh, right. So yeah, we've just traded one for another.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh.
Got to get back and feed the dog. In fact,
you get off.
I just murdered the wife this morning saying,
"Go on.
Have you seen the dog bowl?"
Yeah.
I said I didn't even know he could.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That took me a second, man.
Good man.
You missed my Robert De Niro gag before. It just went off the boat. When you talking about Billy Bob Brown, I said Robert De Niro, biggest name dropper I know. And
Should have got that. Should have got that.
Sorry, never mind.
Slow.
So on that,
I gave it the Al Pacino reference.
Amazing.
I didn't understand the joke.
Yeah.
Well, nice seeing you, Dan. Anyway, and we'll catch up before the 28th.
We've covered a lot of subjects there.
I think so, yeah. Nearly all of it nonsense. Yeah. So, next time.